Welcome to Active Relaxation. So this class definitely bears in mind that we all have a lot of activity that we engage in, mental, physical, emotional, all day, every day, and that for some of us to just sit down and relax is not going to happen without some preparation. So the way yoga understands the process of meditation is we do some physical postures. While we do them, our primary focus is the breathing. And so that puts our mind into a place where we can actually choose what we want to focus on, rather than have all sorts of thoughts and emotions and external subjects and topics choose us, right? Worry, preoccupation, memories that can sort of drag us along with them. Yoga puts you in a place where your mind is able to choose what it wants to focus on, and hopefully that will be something positive for us, right? You start making those types of choices. So please begin exactly where you are in a stable standing position. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, close your eyes. Begin to focus your mind inside your body on your breathing. And follow the journey of your inhalation from start to finish. Briefly pause after your inhalation and follow the journey of your exhalation from start to finish. And then very briefly pause after your exhale. And please do that again and again as you begin to shift your mindset from external to internal, finding a sense of alignment between your body, your breathing, and your mind. And the next time that you inhale at the same time, open your eyes and raise your arms in front of you just to shoulder level. And as you exhale, lower them down. And while breathing in, open your arms to the side, raise them just to shoulder level. And as you exhale, lower them down. And continue. Please do this again on your own. 5 more rounds using the arm movements to, again, put your mind on the body and on the breathing at the same time, finding a sense of communion between your movement and your breathing. Gradually and gently. Keep your arms rather relaxed as you do these movements so that you are encouraging deeper, smoother breathing. Your chest is relaxed. When you finish your very last round, the next time that you inhale, place your hands on your waist. And as you exhale, twist to your right side, keeping your feet planted. As you breathe in, turn back to the center. And as you exhale, twist to your left side. Breathe in, come back to the center. And as you exhale, bend directly to your right side. As you breathe in, return to the center, stand up. And exhale, bend directly to your left side. Inhale, return to the center. And while breathing out, gently bend down over your legs. Place your hands on your back behind you. Breathe in, stand up with your arms open, out to the side and your palms facing forward. And as you exhale, lower down your arms, finishing round one. Now round two. Inhale, place your hands on your waist, and we'll repeat the same sequence again. Exhale, twist gently to your right side. Then inhale, back to the center. And exhale, twist to your left side. Inhale, return to the center. And now the side bends. As you exhale, bend to your right side. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, bend to your left side. Breathe in. When you're ready, stand up. And as you exhale, gently bend down over your legs. Rest your arms comfortably on your back behind you. You may soften your knees so that you feel comfortable as we begin to change the movement orientation. Breathe in and stand up with your arms open, palms facing the front. And as you exhale, lower down your arms at the same time. And please repeat the same sequence again. First twisting, then bending to the side, and then bending forward at your own pace. One of the most important parts of practicing, especially when being led by a teacher or practicing in a group setting, is that you find your own rhythm based on the duration of your breathing. This is how you can begin to individualize your practice whenever you're in a group setting. So please always feel free to go more slowly or more quickly, depending on where you are moment to moment as we go through our practices. When you finish this round, which is our third round, we'll do 3 more with some variations. So the next time that you inhale, open and raise your arms from the side, lift them all the way overhead. And while exhaling, twist again to your right side and open your arms to the side at shoulder level. As you breathe in, return to the center and raise your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, twist to your left side and open your arms to the side. And while breathing in, come back to the center and raise your arms overhead and keep them there. As you exhale, bend to your right side. While breathing in, stand up. And while breathing out, bend to your left side. Inhale, stand up, raise your arms, and exhale once again, bend down gently over your legs. Place your hands on the small of your back in a restful position. And then as you inhale, raise your arms, so take them off your back, raise them and stand up with your arms lifted overhead. And exhale, return to Samasthiti, the standing position with your arms down alongside you, and repeat 2 more rounds. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up this time, and then continue alternating the twisting, the side bending, and the forward bending. Can think of yoga as a way to practice bringing your breathing under your conscious control and moving through all of the sequences that we do tonight in a way that facilitates this. So we definitely want to work with making the breath fuller as well as more subtle and smoother. So not as deep as possible. If you find at any point that your breathing is feeling agitated, your mind is starting to feel agitated, often what we have to do is adjust the approach that we're using. Right? Always bringing it back to using the postures as a way to facilitate smoother, deeper breathing. The body responds to this in a way that allows it to soften and to strengthen. This is more of a byproduct of keeping this mind, breathing, body alignment as we go through the practices of yoga. So when you finish your 3rd round with this variation, take a few moments to check in and to observe how these practices have influenced your system so far. And we'll move into some more standing sequences. So for the next sequence, lift your right toes slightly off the ground, turn them out to the side, and step your left foot a comfortable distance forward, not so far. You should be able to step back in 1 step. So that's how you can gauge your stance. And as you next inhale, At the same time, bend your left knee, raise your arms from the front and lift them above you. Stay nice and grounded in your feet and lift up. And as you exhale, twist to your left side. Bring your left arm comfortably onto your back behind you. Touch your right hand toward your left shoulder. As you breathe in, return to the center and lift your arms overhead. And exhale, twist to your right side. Bring your right arm onto your back behind you. Touch your left hand to your right shoulder. As you breathe in, come back to the center and raise up your arms. And while breathing out, straighten your left leg, bend down over it again to a comfortable distance. Try not to lock your knee. Keep it somewhat soft so you feel this primarily in your back. As you breathe in, bend your knee, raise your arms, and stand with your arms lifted overhead. And finish on exhale by straightening your leg and lowering your arms only. And again, round 2. Inhale, bend your knee while raising your arms overhead. And exhale, twist to your left. Left arm on your small of your back, right hand toward your left shoulder. Breathe in, come back to the center while lifting your arms, and exhale, twist to your right side. Inhale, turn back to the center, lift your arms overhead, and as you exhale, straighten your leg, bend down over it, placing your hands wherever you can reach without straining. And while breathing in, bend your knee, raise your arms, and stand up. Arms lifted overhead. And finishing round 2 on exhale. Straighten your leg, lower down your arms. And again, round 3. Step by step. Too warm?
This keeps hitting me, so it's
okay,
nice,
good.
'cause I'm right here.
Good.
And I know I work pants.
You know, so if you want, you can all just keep it on you. I can stop it from moving. But, okay, you good? So far, so good? Okay, good. So in your next round, please stay one breath in each of the twists as well as the forward bend. So exhale and twist and then stay there. Take a breath to explore the experience of staying in a position that you've adequately repeated again and again, and then continue to the other side. Now that your body and your mind and your breathing are more accustomed, you can stay. Kathy, careful of your knee. And same thing with the forward bend. Take a breath there. Now that the body is loosened up a bit, you can do these movements comfortably. Can get some more of the deeper stabilizing, and in this category of sequence, calming and eliminating properties of the asanas. In your next round, stay 2 breaths in each of the same positions, both the twists as well as the forward bends. Take your time.
Place your whole hand. Yeah. Rest and relax way. And then grab yourself, but let the whole hand go.
And when you finish this side, or this round, and this side, please step back into your standing position. You may take some steps in place, shake out your arms, your hips, your shoulders, whatever you need to do in between rounds to feel a bit more neutralized. And then when you feel ready, switch your sides, repeating 3 times and then staying progressively 1 and 2 breaths in the twists as well as the forward bends. Take your time. In our classes, we practice an ancient technique called vinyasa krama. This is a concept which respects that in order for any significant, sustainable progress to happen, we have to use some intelligence and take a step-by-step process. So the classes in the Krishnamacharya tradition are all designed in this way. There's a very gradual process that we go through, having some important goals in mind, and we take our time to get there. So by the time we're moving through our practice, we start to feel significant change in the mind and the body and the breathing. Gradually, respecting the concept of ahimsa, which is not harming, but helping, developing a feeling of caring toward ourselves as we move through our practice. You're doing it tiny bit to the outside. Yeah. 3 times repeat. 1 time stay 1 breath, 1 time stay 2. Particularly into the tight places that you feel as you go through these sequences, send your breath, let the mind visualize that the breath can go anywhere you choose, and Send it there. Using this subtle force rather than a gross force to induce the physical changes that yoga can bring. Then when you finish your last round, please step back. And again, when that time comes, do any movements that feel organic to you to help you shake some stiffness out or some imbalances out, moving your feet, your hands, your arms, your shoulders, whatever works for you. When you've completed your last round and stepped to the back of your mat, then please take a walk to the front of your mat and once again stand in a comfortable standing position. We'll do a few rounds of some modified types of sun salutations. Before you begin, please focus on the quality or a quality of the sun that you wish to incorporate into your experience tonight and for the rest of your night. Maybe it's soothing or inspiring, whatever that is for you. And the next time that you inhale, at the same time raise your arms and visualize that you are calling that quality into your system, and continue to do that as you exhale and bend down over your legs to a comfortable level. Inhale, step one of your feet back into a lunge position. And then as you exhale, step into downward facing dog. As you breathe in, gently lower your knees down to the ground, coming into an all fours position. And as you exhale, lower your seat to your feet, your belly toward your legs, your forearms toward the ground. And reverse this sequence now. As you breathe in, come to all fours. And as you exhale, enter downward facing dog by tucking your toes, straightening your legs, raising your hips. Allow your head to drop. Inhale, step the same foot that you stepped back forward between your hands. And as you exhale, step forward again, bend down over your legs. Breathe in, raise your arms and stand up. Arms lifted overhead. And as you exhale, lower down your arms, returning to Samasthiti. Take a breath between your sides and repeat the same sequence on the other side. So if you stepped your right foot back, step your left foot back. And begin anytime you're ready by raising your arms as you breathe in and exhale, bend down. Breathe in, step your foot back. And exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, lower your knees gently to the ground. Come into an all fours position. And as you breathe out, Go to the kneeling forward bend. Lower your seat to your feet, your belly to your legs, your forearms to the ground. And reverse the sequence now. Inhale to all fours. And exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward the same foot that you stepped back. And exhale, step forward again, bending down over your legs. And as you breathe in, raise your arms and stand up with your arms lifted over your head. And breathe out, return to Samasthiti. Take a breath between your rounds. And again, another round as you're ready. Using the sequence in a very similar way that they used it in the ancient times, which is to cultivate and welcome into the system the amazing qualities of the sun. Probably today you don't want to focus on the heat of the sun, but perhaps its shining ways, its consistency, reliability, inspiration, life-giving force. Yes. And on the other side. When you finish the round that you're doing now, please lie down and take a rest on your back. And perhaps the idea of active relaxation is opening up in your experience. Now, as you go through it, rest is a very integral part of a balanced yoga practice. We'll always have periodic rests sprinkled in so that we can ensure that any type of hyperactive energy that we may carry over from life into practice doesn't take over, and we don't practice in that way that sort of doesn't really facilitate the deep changes that we need to encourage healing in our mind, in our body, in our behaviors, in our emotions, throughout our energy system. Take a nice rest here. Completely relax your body and allow the breath to freely flow throughout your whole system. And as you do this, please feel confident that yoga does cite a force that flows within our system, that's very closely connected to the breath, known as prana, and that when we are able to go through the processes that we go through in a balanced yoga practice, this force of prana can promote healing within our system and all the parts of our system, giving it some time to do its thing before we move on. And now please bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on the ground, and place your hands on your lower abdomen below your navel. We'll practice abdominal breathing. As you breathe in, allow the belly to rise up so that you can feel your hands slightly lifting. And as you exhale, contract your lower abdomen inward. And then relax it before you breathe in, so your inhale is full, your belly is relaxed and rising. And as you exhale, contract your lower abdomen, particularly inward. Continue to do this. And as you finish your next breath, relax your arms on the ground alongside you. And as you next inhale, at the same time, extend your right leg forward on the ground in front of you and raise your arms overhead. So straighten your right leg out on the ground in front of you and raise your arms overhead. As you exhale, twist your left knee to the right side. And while breathing in, return back to the center. So twist your knee back to center. And as you exhale, bend your right knee, place your right foot on the ground, lower your arms alongside you. And we'll move to the other side now. As you inhale, extend your left leg out and raise your arms overhead. And as you exhale, twist to your left side. While breathing in, return to the center, place the sole of your right foot on the ground. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, replace the sole of your left foot on the ground, and lower your arms alongside your body so both of your knees are bent now in the starting position. And repeat. Inhale, extend your right leg out while raising your arms. Exhale, twist toward your right side. Inhale, back to the center. And exhale, bend your knee, both feet on the ground, arms alongside you, and move now to the other side. So inhale, extend your left leg while raising up your arms. And as you exhale, twist to your left side. Breathe in, return to the center. And continue as you exhale, bend your knee and finish round 2. Round 3. Continue on your own. The right leg comes out as the arms go up. Please contract your abdomen as you twist. Relax it as you come back to the center on inhale, and contract every time you exhale and do your exhale movement. Begin to connect this breathing technique, this exhale technique, this abdominal exhalation to the movement that you do. So they're very intimately connected with each other. The movement is initiated by the breathing, sustained by the breathing, and completed by the breathing technique. Continue with another round. And in this round, please stay and take a breath. So when you twist, stay in the twisted position and take a breath. And the same to the other side. In your next round, stay in the twists and take 2 breaths. If your back does feel like it's starting to loosen up, you can always cross the knee that you're twisting. You can cross that over a little bit more, allowing gravity and breathing to help move into the muscles that are deep in the lower back. Asking of them in the way that we do in this conscious yoga practice to change the way they function. You don't have to hold on so tight to the patterns that may have settled in over time. Your next round, stay 2 breaths, and then your final round, stay for 3 breaths in the twisted position. If at any point you feel like staying a little bit more or a little bit less, this is always your call. Please see or hear what I'm suggesting as sort of gentle guidance. Make the practice your own in any way that feels expansive, stabilizing, calming, grounding. When you finish with your last round, move your knees in toward you, bend them in toward your body, and place your hands on top of them. Let that be the starting position for the next sequence, which we'll use to neutralize the spine. Have the elbows bent as the knees are in close to you. And while breathing in, at the same time, raise your arms overhead, place them on the ground, and extend your legs vertically upward. And as you exhale, bend in your knees and hold them. Replace your hands on top of them. And repeat. As you breathe in, raise your arms overhead, place them on the ground, extend your legs upward. As you exhale, bend in your knees and hold them. And please repeat this again. And again. And a couple of more times. When you finish, place your feet and your arms on the ground. And stay put for some time so that once again you can practice resting, practice relaxing, practice stillness, having gone through the process of a comprehensive class. And as you feel ready, transition gradually to a seated position. Taking your time. And we'll move into a pranayama practice, a breathing practice, known as Shitali Pranayama. If you're able to curl your tongue. Then you use the tongue curled. If not, you know the alternate technique. So close your eyes and inhale through your tongue while slightly raising your head upward. Close your mouth, bring your head to neutral, and exhale through your nose. And repeat, curl your tongue or breathe in through your mouth while slightly raising your head. Pause for a moment, close your mouth, bring your head to neutral, and exhale through your nose. And repeat, inhale with the mouth inhale technique while slightly raising your head. Pause after inhale, move your head to neutral, and exhale through your nose. And repeat. Please do this on your own. 6 more rounds. And for your next 5 rounds or so, gradually, slightly lengthen your exhalation each time by a half a second or so. So the inhale is through the tongue, curled, while slightly raising your head. And then pause after your inhale, move your head to neutral, and exhale through your nose. One of the few times that we'll use the mouth for breathing during yoga. You may notice that this has a particular effect on your own system. It's a good thing to notice, especially with these subtler practices, like breathing practices, how they make you feel, so that when you take them to whoever it is that you regularly learn yoga with, you can have a sort of an honest assessment of what they do to you. It's very important that we keep this in mind as we practice yoga, that each and every practice, although it has intended effects, will have a different effect on each person. It's important that we pay attention to this for ourselves so that we can get the most out of the practices that we do, and so that they can serve us, support us, and move us. And when you finish your last round, resume your normal breathing. And I'll finish with a very brief ancient Vedic peace mantra tonight, which asks that for all of us who are here today, the practices that we do protect us, that we enjoy them, and that they bring out a deep courage from inside of us, a deep sense of lightness, and that we all have positive relations between us that are based on the teachings of yoga and all that they are intending to bring to our experience. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time here today. Namaste. So happy to meet you and to see you and to do this work together.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Been much more centered and grounded after that.
It worked.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely came in here with more of a jittery energy because of the day.
Yeah, the day, it's a new experience, a new place, new everything, so that's a good sign. The teachings can be so powerful when they're wielded in the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was different than any practice I'd ever been to. That was really nice.
Yeah.
And I think that prayer song you did at the end, I could listen to that all day. If I were you, I would start recording those and putting them out there, because that was very spiritual, very just soul soothing to hear your tone, your harmony. It was really deeply, deeply healing. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you. I learned that was one of my few primary instructions when I was in India.
Yeah.
That's where I learned all this stuff. And I had the same feeling when I first heard it. I was like, what is that?
Right.
Yeah? I was like, what is that? And it was a blessing for me that the school that I learned with, or learned in for a long time, the women were teaching there prominently. And so the Vedic chanting school was totally run by women. And so there were like 5 of them that got together and did this inauguration chant for the 2-week program that I took. It was called Deal with the Body, Heal with the Mind. And they sounded like 1,000 people.
Wow.
They sounded like 1,000 people, and I really was like, what is that? And I think that's why I'm here. Yeah, I think that's why I'm here. I want to learn.
I know.
Really
I want to learn that.
Yeah, that was something that really resonated, and it just sounded so pure, like that was your just purity coming through. It's really.
I don't know how pure I am, but thank you. At least when I'm chanting the Vedas, I feel more pure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're so ancient, and so the way that they have been given over all of these thousands of years is like very particular. So there are certain rules that are followed.
We just discovered one on YouTube that really spoke to us, and the same thing. It's a male that's chanting it, but it is so pure and just healing. He says, Prana, Apana, Sushumna, Hari, Hari He, Hari He, Hari He, Hari. And he just repeats that over and over. But we've listened to it, while doing yoga, while going to sleep, like it.
Oh, how wonderful!
While prepping food, sometimes it just, it was very similar to what you did. Like it has a very similar effect on the body.
Your food must taste very good.
Well, we put that.
Yeah, no, I can feel that from you guys. Yeah, I think that's a big deal. That could be like the theme for the restaurant. People chant while they're making the food,
That's a
right?
really good idea.
Yeah, it's growing. The idea.
You gotta
is
go.
growing.
You gotta either teach Don or go over to Don's and do that over
the plants. Oh, that could be our next. That could be our next
Chanting class.
science experiment. That'll be the first grade science experiment. Do sprouts grow? We'd have to do it over a month though, or something. Probably a longer time. Do sprouts grow better when they're chanted too?
Tell her
All
about the
plants do.
sunflower that Kelsey just sent us, where the woman hooked up a sound machine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
And you could hear the song of the sunflower. Like it was actually playing a song.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And
yeah.
what we've come to learn is that when you have your own garden and you ground in your garden barefoot and you speak to your plants, they code themselves to you. They pick up on your vibration and they detect what nutrients, what phytochemicals you specifically need, and they design themselves to you.
Like a baby nursing from a mom, kind of?
Yeah, I guess, in a way.
I think my garden is coded to my rabbits. They hang out there more than I do. I went out, I had like all these beautiful fennel bulbs and like some sort of caterpillars on them too that are like getting real fat. I don't know, you know what, maybe it's the caterpillars. But the fennel fronds, gone. It's only bulb now. I'm like,
Yeah. We're getting to that point too. It's funny, we've had a garden for 3 years and never, the caterpillars are the only problem that we've ever had, and now the rabbits and the squirrels and the chipmunks, it's like the word is out. So now I gotta cage the whole thing. It's just.
I had a rabbit family under my boxes. They dug into the hole.
oh, leave it to those little rabbits.
Oh, I had like 15 of them last year.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, they love my garden.
They're so
It felt
cute
like
too. It's
Farmer
like-
McGregor. Everybody, I like everybody out. It's my turn.
So what I started doing is this year, and I haven't done it consistently enough, but I juice habanero.
Oh, wow.
And then mix the habanero with a little water in a spray bottle, and I spray the whole floor. I don't spray the plants because I don't want to eat the habanero with my fennel, but I spray
Or get
the
it
whole
on your
floor.
fingers and touch
Yeah.
areas like your eyes or your nose or
Yeah, you don't want
whatever.
to do that.
Yeah, no.
Put a spray bottle around.
We've
it.
all made that mistake.
Yeah, because their sense of smell is so sensitive. If they take a deep breath of the habanero, they're gonna be like, all right, I'm not coming here anymore. So, well, that's the theory. I don't know. I'll let you know how it works.
So
I
you-
tried tea tree oil.
The tea tree,
Yeah.
peppermint, anything I feel like that's assaulting to the olfactory system. will,
Right.
But the
I do
habanero.
love
is
Habanero
like
sounds good.
fire.
You juice it in your juicer?
Yeah, run it through the juicer and
Wow.
then just mix it with water
Yep.
and put it in a spray bottle and
Whew.
keep it up to the
Gangster.
sink.
Garden gangster.
That's it. That's it.
I love it.
I want my fennel, man.